Grasshoppers, leafhoppers, and aphids are all pests. Farmers are never happy when they discover them on their plants because they can destroy their crops. But not all insects are pests. Who knows what this insect is called? That's right, it's a ladybug. Did you know that ladybugs are some of the most helpful insects on Earth? They feed on aphids and the eggs of moths and beetles and destroy crops. Lacewings and ambush bugs also eat aphids. So farmers are happy when they see these insects on their plants. From grasslands, let's move to a forest habitat. Both evergreens and trees that drop their leaves each year live in this forest. Many, like these pine trees, are host to a variety of bark beetles. These tiny insects can kill huge trees. How can that be possible? Bark beetles burrow or dig under the tree's bark, creating a series of tunnels in which they lay their eggs. Well, let's think about this. What does a tree need to live? By burrowing into the layer of wood beneath the bark, these beetles stop the flow of nutrients or food and water throughout the tree and often kill the tree. Lots of insects activity takes place overhead in the forest. But many insects also live on the forest floor. Can you think of any? Ants are one of the most common insects on Earth, and many live in the forest. Unlike many of us solitary insects that live on our own, ants are social. Insects that live in colonies or groups. Let's look at an especially interesting social ant that lives in the rainforest. This is an army ant. Army ants travel in big raiding parties that cooperate to hunt prey. They resemble or look like an army of soldiers as they move across the ground together in a large group. These ants are known for swarming their prey all at once, which means that the swarm can attack a lot of prey at the same time. You'll learn more about ants another day, so let's take a quick peek at one more forest insect. This beetle is named for the long, large horn at the front of its head. Does its horn look like that of any other animal that you already know? I'm thinking of a much larger animal. Yes, a rhinoceros. The rhinoceros beetle uses its horn for digging hideouts and finding food along the forest floor. Male rhinoceros beetles use the horn for wrestling with other males in an effort to win over a female beetle. The male that succeeds in throwing the other off a branch gets the female rhinoceros beetle. What kinds of insects do you think live in the coldest habitats? There are many types of flies on the tundra. This very cold habitat including houseflies like me. This Arctic crane fly has amazingly long legs. And guess what? Adult crane flies have no mouths, so they never eat. Here's another fact about them that's not too surprising. They only live for a few days. Some insects are aquatic, meaning they live in or near water. Here's one that you may have seen in rivers, ponds, or streams. This insect is a dragonfly. A few minutes ago, however, I told you that there is one large water habitat that does not support the life of insects. Do you remember what that habitat is? The ocean. Let's look at the globe again. Is the Earth covered by more land or more water? Right, nearly 2/3 of the Earth is covered by water, and most of that water is in our oceans. Think about it. Oceans are the world's biggest habitat, yet no insects live there. But insects, found on only 1/3 of the Earth's surface, are still the largest group of animals on Earth. Flies, grasshoppers, ants, caterpillars, beetles. These are all insects, yet they look quite different from one another. Different shapes, different sizes and colors. So what makes an insect an insect? You'll find out next time. In the meantime, be thinking about how a fly is like a grasshopper, or a beetle is like an ant.